Fans here in Cincinnati have experienced every bit of the weather over the last 3 days. It was 70 and sunny on one day, and today it's in the 40s and rainy as we get set for the finale of this three-game series between the Phils and the Cincinnati Reds. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy along with John Kruk. Our last day before we head home for the home opener in Philadelphia, and Clay Buchholz will make his Phillies debut. It was an up-and-down spring training. The Phillies hope that they can just disregard all the numbers for Clay.
Yeah, and I hope Clay disregards a lot of the things that happen in spring training. You know, Tom, the big thing with him is command. If he can command his fastball, he has such great movement on that pitch. He can set up this pitch that is about as devastating a changeup as you will see in baseball, and he will throw it to both righties and lefties. You see the swings and misses he's getting with that pitch, the take on the fastball starting at the hip and coming back on the inside corner plate to left-handed hitters. But if he can't command the fastball, that changeup becomes irrelevant. Watch for him today. If it's command of his fastball, he's going to have a chance to have a great outing.
You know, last year with the Red Sox, he finished strong, so those are the career numbers with the Sox. 81 wins, 61 losses. He's been to a couple All-Star games. He's thrown a no-hitter. He has the reputation.
And he has the stuff, and that's never been the issue. You know, he's trying to, shorten up his delivery more. He pitches from the stretch now. Every single pitch, so just to try to get those mechanics a little more in line. And again, it's all about command. If he commands his pitches, he's going to be tough on this Reds lineup.
Andrew Knapp will do the catching today for the Phillies as he makes his Major League debut. Speaking of Major League debuts, rookie Davis will make the start for the Cincinnati Reds. Lineups at first pitch when we get back to Cincinnati. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank, official bank of the Phillies. Visit citizensbank.com. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IVX.com. Finale between the Phils and the Cincinnati Reds. There's Pete Buchanan. He's got his lineup card all set. It's actually a different lineup today than what we've seen the first 2 days. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Obviously, Buchholz is pitching, but the other changes are Stassi's at first, Knapp is catching, and Daniel Nava plays left field and bats second for the Phils. Pete had said that he wanted to get everybody a chance to play at least a portion of one of these games, and then decided yesterday he was going to start them against a rookie in Rookie Davis. William Teron Davis makes his major league debut tonight. He's a big fella and probably was not on the Reds' radar to be a starter in the big leagues this year when you look back to his numbers last season.
Yeah, but last year, talking to some people in the Reds organization, last year he had a wrist injury which he kept to himself, and his velocity was down into the upper 80s, low 90s. He came to spring training. He said, I can win a job in this rotation. The fastball's back up into the mid 90s where it was when they got him, and here he is, game 3 of the season. He gets the start.
Well, they acquired him from the New York Yankees in the Aroldis Chapman deal, and the first pitch of the day is in there for a strike, so he'll keep that baseball. They'll throw it aside. Not only is he making his major league debut, but his catcher, Stuart Turner, is making his major league debut. 0-1 pitch is high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
They also told me about this young man that he will pound the strike zone, but you still have to make him, adrenaline's going to make some of the balls go a little crazy.
And obviously Pete and Matt Stairs, they weren't overly happy with the way the Phillies approached last night's starter, so they want them to approach today's starter a little differently. See the scouting report on him. In the dirt, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And that's what I always found with a young pitcher, that they will have fastball command. It's the secondary pitches that, and you see there, he just bounced the breaking ball to Cesar.
Cesar swings through the next pitch. He's down on strikes, so 1 away here in the first inning. All right, John, time now for our Nissan keys to the game.
Well, the first key is Clay Buchholz. Clay has to command the strike zone, keep these hitters off balance, get to a place where he can use his changeup, and hope rookie pitches like a rookie. And by that I mean go back to that approach they had in game 1 and the first inning in yesterday's game. Make him work, make him throw strikes, but be aggressive if he does throw. You can't let him just throw fastball first pitch and get it over the plate without making him pay for it a little bit.
Here's Daniel Nava making his first start as a Phil, first at bat as a Phil, and he takes a strike. It's 0-1. I wonder also, and I don't know if this is overstated at all, he's a rookie making his major league debut. There's always an adrenaline rush in your first start anyway of the season, if there's even more for him. That ball's hit well deep to right field. Going back on it is Schebler, and Daniel Nava has given the Phillies a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first inning. Well, so much for an adrenaline rush for Daniel Nava.
But again, that looked like a breaking ball that he hasn't commanded, and of course he has only thrown a handful of them. But that's what a veteran hitter does to a mistake pitch. Daniel Nava didn't show a whole lot of power in spring training, but he did get a lot of hits. But yeah, he throws first pitch fastball, and then he tries to throw that breaking ball, and a beautiful swing by Daniel Nava. But I mean, that had hit me written all over it from the time it left his hand. If I'm Odubel, I'm looking fastball first pitch and trying to turn on the fan.
Yeah, Odubel 2 for 7 so far in the series. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant, Marianne Fassbender Percy. Well, Marianne, you've just won $200 thanks to Daniel Nava. That's all part of McDonald's home run jackpot. Mix and match any 2 for just $4 on McDonald's McPick 2 breakfast menu.
Most rookie pitchers will go a while before they get their first strikeout and give up their first home run. He got him out of the way early.
Yes, he did. 0-1 pitch is a broken bat looper into center field, just past the glove of Peraza. So the Phils, with a run in, have a batter aboard with 1 man down.
And here's the thing: he gets a strikeout for Cesar, gives up the home run, and now a base hit. But now you have a rookie catcher going out and speaking to him, and both of them are probably thinking,
what do we do now?
Yeah, this is moving really fast right now. I know probably my first month in the big league, I couldn't believe how fast the game was. And my mind couldn't keep up. And you can't imagine what these two are going through.
Oh, Maikel Franco is 2 for 8 so far. He had a hit in Monday's game, and he had a hit in last night's ball game.
I think they're going to test the rookie catcher's arm.
I think they might, as long as Odubel isn't gun shy after stealing the bag last night in the 9th inning.
That could have been ugly.
I don't know if anybody saw the comments, and I think watching the video did it more justice than just reading the comments. But Pete, after the game last night, he said, well, he made it. He made it. That's all I'll say. But I will talk to him.
If you got a bad jump with Joey Votto playing in shallow right, how do you think the jump's going to be when he's getting held on?
Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Google had a little false start.
Infield actually looks better today than it did yesterday.
Yeah. That might be my favorite part of the day, watching the grounds crew do up the field before the game.
Has it helped your lawn?
No.
No.
I don't fool with that stuff. Had to change a light bulb in a ceiling fan, and not only did I rip the fan off the wall because I fell through the table I was standing on.
You got to get yourself a little mini ladder or something.
Yeah, it was like $2,000 light change.
Tapper foul, and it's 2-2 to Franco. You mentioned that Davis came over from the Yankees organization. Reds fans are looking at that trade and saying, oh, the Yankees, they got so much back from the Cubs when Aroldis Chapman went to the Cubs. We didn't get a whole lot back from the Yankees when we traded him, but the hope is that rookie Davis could end that discussion a little bit. From a small town in North Carolina where the Little League field is named for his father because he built it, and there's a street named for his family because it's somewhat a small town.
And the doctor was told that he will be called Rookie from the day he was born. So this is what he knows.
Runner goes. Pitch is hit in the air to left field. It's not deep. Odubel saw it, and now we'll head back. 2 outs here in the first inning. And Michael Saunders is coming up.
Tell you what, though, it's still not a bad at bat by Franco. He worked the count, got it to 3-2, and just missed that 3-2 fastball. It's a little better today than it was. Well, a lot better. We've already scored.
That is true. Yesterday they had 25 pitches in the first inning, and then after that, not so many pitches.
Became getaway day.
It sure
Swing
did.
at everything.
2 hours and 25-minute game. Saunders takes a little high, 1-0.
Watching Odubel Herrera at first base, he keeps getting false starts like he
wants to go.
He wants to go, but and that's smart. If you don't think you got a good jump, you got to stay. Now that one he was leaning out a little bit, but do you pitch out with a rookie pitcher when the count's 1-0?
Threw the changeup, and he hit it out towards shallow left field. And Duvall is there, and the Phils settle for the 1 run. They'll take it, though. A solo home run by that guy, Daniel Nava, making his Phillies debut. He got something soft, and he was right on it, and he launched it into the seats in right field. So the Phils take a 1-0 lead over the Reds as we move to the bottom of the first. got a home run from Daniel Nava. Let's take a look at the lineup for Brian Price. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Well, a couple changes for Brian Price today. Really, the only big one is Stuart Turner starts behind the plate, and he bats 8th. Duvall, last season he led the team in triples, home runs, RBIs, and extra base hits. And so far, he is 3 for 7 on the season. And they will face right-hander Clay Buchholz, who's making his Phillies debut, as it now starts to rain a little bit more here in Cincinnati, which doesn't usually faze him. Last year he was 8-10 with an ERA of 4.78.
Well, he pitched his entire career up to this point in Boston. You know how the weather is up there in the first month of the season, so this shouldn't be anything different for Clay.
That's what he did his last 9 road starts in 2016. First batter, Billy Hamilton, shows bunt, and it's a strike on the outside corner.
We mentioned it in the open that Clay Buchholz pitches from the stretch his entire, like a lot of starters, but just trying to redo the mechanics so they're not out of whack.
We asked Bob McClure, we saw last night Finnegan, his motion is sort of a hybrid stretch windup.
Yeah.
If they would think about doing that with Buchholz, and they said, no, this is trying to make it as simple as possible. 0-2 to Billy Hamilton. We showed you those numbers where Buchholz has pitched in weather like this, 49 degrees or less, and game time temperature was 43 today, and his numbers have been quite good.
Be surprised here if we see something off speed. Throw that fastball up to waste it.
And back toward the middle, and a base hit for Billy Hamilton. So Hamilton is aboard. I think he was much happier that the Phillies had a different game plan than you did on that pitch.
Yeah, it's, we keep talking about it. Billy Hamilton, he will hit the fastball. He struggles with off-speed pitches. He threw the fastball up and away just to let him see it, and then tried to go back inside with it. And caught too much of the play. You see Knapp sitting. He wanted it down and in. They got it up and in, and that's, if you're not throwing 95, it's a pretty good. You have a great chance of putting the ball in play.
Here's Peraza. Peraza so far 2 for 8. His 2 hits came in the opener. Both were to right field. And they're keeping an eye on Hamilton, who stole 58 bags last year.
You feel like if you're Knapp, first game, now all of a sudden first hitter gets on and it's Billy Hamilton.
So you're thinking about calling the pitches, but then you got to get quick release.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues. Thank you.
That was a helpful swing with Hamilton at first. And Cesar will take care of him. That is not what you expect from your number 2 hitter.
Especially, knowing, not knowing apparently the history of Clay Buchholz, that, he throws a lot of off-speed pitches. Swing at the first pitch, fastball up, and give him an easy out.
Yeah, 58 for 66 last year, which equates to that percentage right there.
Now you wonder, with the left-handed hitter Joey Votto up, does Hamilton run and open up a base? But he also will take the hole away if he runs early in this count for Votto to try to shoot something through there.
Fastball upstairs, 1-0. Numbers a season ago, after a rough start where he hit 240 in the first half, he hit over 400 in the second half.
Advantage having a left-handed first baseman quicker with tags on throws over. Stassi's got a good one. Talk about him potentially winning a Gold Glove someday. He's that good.
Check swing, foul ball. I don't think that's what Joey Votto wanted to do with that one. Votto last night hit a home run on a breaking pitch from Jared Eichhoff.
Now it's 1-1. You've given him 2 pitches. Wouldn't be surprised if Hamilton tried to go here.
He kind of froze a little bit before he headed back to first. One thing about Hamilton that you notice the last couple of years, he doesn't get the biggest of leads because he's so fast from the start.
You don't need one.
That's it. So he's getting back easier than some base runners. So 165 bags one year in the minor leagues. That's a lot of bases.
It's a lot of times on base too. Hey, I'm sure the Reds would be happy with 70. It just lost the art anymore.
Yeah, he said 2 years ago that his goal was 100, but then he had a little trouble getting on base, so he wasn't able to reach that goal. Fly ball, right center field. Saunders says he has it. And there are 2 outs. And back to first goes Hamilton.
Well, now, I even though Clay Buchholz slide steps tougher to steal on, but I think at some point in this at bat, hopefully as a hitter, you want him to go early. So now you can work with the count. You got more pitches to work with. You wait till you have 1 strike, 2 strikes or whatever. Then it's just you're protecting. But if he goes early, gives the hitter a better count to work in.
Duvall has already had 2 doubles on the season. And they throw behind him.
They were telling us that they did. You remember the last spring training game we did with Buchholz pitching to Knapp, and they did that a lot. Throw a fastball up and away, snap throw to first base. Said it was described to me as it's sort of like a pitch out, but it's really not a pitch out.
With that long pause, which can disrupt the running game a little bit.
Yeah, he held the ball, Tom, and you saw Billy Hamilton kept a little jittery with the steps, take a step back. And that's what you have to do when you have a base runner. You have to vary your times to home. You have to hold it. Sometimes you have to go quicker.
Off the end of the bat, squibbing foul. And it's 1-2. Well, now, 1 ball, 2 strikes. I guess we thought he would be going a bunch of times earlier. He must not be reading Buchholz.
Yeah, but Clay's doing a great job. Like you said, he's holding it. He's going quicker. He's slide stepping. This is one of those situations here where, Duvall's behind the count. You go. If you throw you out, he gets a new at bat. If you don't, he either hits one in the gap or he gets to, lead off the second inning. If you throw him out.
On the inside corner, strike 3 called. Now that was good command of the fastball by Clay Buchholz. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left over at first. We go to the second. Phillies 1, Reds nothing. Tomorrow, presented by Budweiser. It's all prior to the game against the Nationals. In addition to the Bud Macro Bar, there will be live music, appearances by the famous Budweiser Clydesdales, and other festive attractions located on Citizens Bank Way outside the third base gate beginning at 12:30 Eastern. Top of the second inning. Phillies lead at 1-0. And Andrew Knapp making his major league debut today, getting his first big league at bat. His dad Mike, his mom Julie are both here, getting a chance to watch him play. They've been here for the first 3 days of the season. And the first pitch is on the outside corner. It's 0-1.
How nervous are the parents? You know, the kid's nervous without question, but the parents, that's got to be nuts.
Well, and part of it too is that they're not with him now, so they don't have to hide it. They were probably hiding it for the first few days when they're with him. 1 ball and 1 strike to Knapp. Knapp, a switch hitting catcher. He finished strong in spring training. He didn't start all that strong. And just like Brock Stassi, who made his major league debut the other day, he has the count 3 balls and 1 strike in his favor.
Yeah, good at bat right here. Now you can pick and choose. But you like it that he's being patient, because I know you have a rookie pitcher, but man, you want to swing. I mean, that's, I don't know if I could have taken 4 pitches in a row.
Brock got said that the other night. He said it was tough to hold up on some of those pitches. On the inside corner, Knapp thought it was ball 4, but he's down looking. 1 out. He got that in his book.
Tell you what, that's a great pitch by rookie Davis. I mean, that there's no unhittable pitch, but that's pretty close to one.
Pretty good command for a 23-year-old making his major league debut. Brock Stassi takes a changeup, and it's 0-1.
See if Brock gets a swing at this one.
He does, to the right side. Votto backhands. One on the put out. Rookie Davis is there to cover. And there are 2 outs. So the Stassi family and the Knapp family kind of joining forces today to watch today's game. And now Freddie Galvis. Freddie was 2 for 7 in the first 2 games of this series. The other thing about this kid is he is not wasting any time.
No. And Clay was a little quicker. I mean, he slowed up a little bit with Hamilton on base, but you remember that last spring training start. I mean, it was.
Even he said it. It was an hour and 10 minutes for the first 2 innings.
The first inning, I think, was. It seemed like 2 hours.
3-0 to Galvis.
Turn him loose, pitcher on deck, or do you let him hopefully work a walk to get out of the way?
I'd like to let him go turn loose, but there is that thought of turning the lineup over.
I think by his own admission, Clay's not a great handler of the bat.
Not many opportunities. Ball 4, so they will get the pitcher up here in the second. First walk issued. Phillies fans, don't be tied to the television. Never miss a CSN game with the NBC Sports app. Stream every pitch, hit, and run on csnphilly.com and the NBC Sports app. Buchholz 2 for 13 with 5 strikeouts in his big league career. Sure, there are folks using that app today, watching a little day baseball where nobody can see them, hiding it under something while they're sitting at the desk.
Well, you hope their boss is a Phillies fan and he just lets them all watch.
Yeah, it's on in the conference room.
Did I tell you I downloaded that app?
I heard you did.
It was remarkable. Had a lot of help from Murph.
Take one chance, one shot.
Now, it took more than one. I got the wrong one first. I think I had the network, the whole NBC app, the whole network.
Get to watch the whole family.
Wow.
Get caught up in all the news.
Soap operas.
Soap operas. Get some Jimmy Fallon clips.
And Murph, I showed Murph. I said, "Well, how come mine's different than yours?" He said, "Well,
you got the whole family.
You got the wrong one." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
2-2 to Buchholz. Your phone's going to be filled with apps now. WWE, NBC Sports app.
Night, watching WrestleMania.
3-2.
Clay.
Yep. So Freddie, you'll be
work.
off.
Now hit one in the gap right here and score Freddie.
Yeah, they are shallow. Get a hold of one. No?
Yeah.
He was in the clubhouse the other day, and he was swinging it. He had,
yeah. Don't let that fool you. Hey, ball 4. Let Cesar get a shot.
He had a foul tip. He may have swung at ball 4. 3 strikeouts for rookie Davis. We have played 1.5. The Phils leave 1. We'll head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Phils on top. Against the Washington Nationals. It starts tomorrow with Nemours opening day, a 3:05 first pitch, and then on Saturday McDonald's opening night, 7:05 first pitch, and it all wraps up on Sunday. Cavity Busters Kids opening day. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Some Phillies fans that are here today that have reminded us that the game cannot be delayed at all because they have flights to go back home tonight to then be at the opener tomorrow. So we told them we would see what we could do. Everything's obliging as of now.
Keep it 1-0. We're good, but they'll make their flight.
Hey, some news around baseball that's been floating around the internet over the last 20 minutes. The Braves have signed Ryan Howard to a minor league deal. He'll go to extended spring training and then likely join AAA Gwinnett. That's from Mark Bowman, who covers the Braves for MLB.com. The thought is that there's nothing wrong with Freddie Freeman, that Ryan would eventually be an extra bat off the bench for the Braves. And I think everybody's surprised that A, Ryan didn't go to spring training with somebody, but that B, that it's a National League team.
Yeah, that's what's shocking, because they're not going to replace Freddie Freeman with Ryan Howard for defensive purposes. We know that. But, you know, he can change his complexion of a game with one swing.
Well, and the whole bat off the bench thing is just an assumption more than anything else. They said they signed him to bring him to the big leagues. I mean, it has to be. It's just a left-handed bat off the bench.
You didn't give Freddie Freeman what you gave him for him to have to sit every once in a while. Plus, they're both left-handed hitters. But again, it's a bat off the bench that can change the complexion of a game with that one swing. And that's, I think every bench needs one of those guys in the National League.
Out toward right field. Saunders on the run, and it is over his head and a one-hop over the wall. And Suarez will be at second base with a ground rule double. Ball carried pretty good. First hit of the year for Suarez.
It's an 0-2 pitch for Buchholz. It didn't get it where he wanted. What is that? Looks like a slider. Stayed middle of the plate.
I guess in hindsight, he's lucky it didn't go out of the ballpark.
Yeah. That's where you got to work. Got to keep Schebler from hitting the ball to the right side.
Which he does, and over to third goes Suarez. 4-3 on the putout.
Not sure that's the pitch to throw if you're trying to keep someone from pulling the ball.
It was a great approach to go after it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a breaking ball.
Well, now Cozart with a runner at third.
Corners in.
And Cozart does his job, gets it out toward left center field. Suarez will tag from third, and he'll score. It's a sac fly, and we're tied up at 1.
Pretty good baseball by the Cincinnati Reds. Right there, manufactured leadoff double, grounder to second, fly ball to center. One hit, and they scored a run with 2 quality at bats.
Well, that's why it was such heavy lifting for Buchholz to get out of the first inning after Hamilton reached, because he didn't even try to steal second, and he was still standing on first when the inning was over. Stuart Turner, who they acquired in the Rule 5 draft from the Minnesota Twins. And there are those that think that the Twins are chomping at the bit to get him back, because when Mesoraco comes off the DL, which may be in a couple weeks, they have to decide what they're going to do with Turner. They can't send him down without offering him back to the Twins and putting him through waivers for everybody else. So they may keep 3 catchers. Kid will never catch.
Yeah, but you wonder if Mesoraco can be that, you know, get a spot start in left field if Duvall needs a break, get a start in right field off a tough lefty. You just want him healthy. Well, he was turning into a really good player until he had those injuries.
This guy had a heck of a spring, though. He had 382 for them in the spring. That one's in foul territory near the tarp. Stassi is over and on the tarp, but out of room. That would have been kind of cool if he made the catch.
Yeah, didn't Anthony Rizzo do that last year before?
Yeah, a couple times.
I don't know what the rule is. Some, depending on the ballpark, some you can't jump on the tarp with your feet to make a catch. Some you can. Apparently that's why they have that meeting every day.
Every day.
Every single day. The rules aren't going to change. The only place they need to have that meeting every day is Tampa, with the 8 different runs or whatever.
Yeah, it's like old Olympic Stadium.
Yeah, if it hits this one, it's this. If it hits that one, it's this. If it hits that one, and still no one knows. But every time one hits that, if it comes back in play, if the guy catches it, no one knows if he's out or safe.
Or if it's a double or a triple.
Yeah. They're playing in the backyard. If you hit it above this branch, it's a double. If you hit it above this one, it's a triple.
Two and two to Turner. Rookie Davis on deck.
Let's get this one right here and let the pitcher lead off the next inning.
He almost went after it. A little breaking ball. See our pitch cast. It is just a bit outside. Off the end of the bat and foul. Buchholz last year, after switching to the stretch position, finished with a 3-0 record and 3.14 ERA in the month of September. And that doesn't always mean a whole lot, September, but for him, when he was trying to figure some things out, it certainly meant a little bit more than it did earlier. His first 10 games, he had an ERA of 6.5. On the outside corner, 90 miles an hour, and he picks up his second strikeout. And that wraps up the bottom of the second inning. He does give up a run on a sac fly. We'll move to the third, all evened at 1. John asked if the parents were nervous watching Brock Stassi and Andrew Knapp today. Well, Greg Murphy can probably answer that. Murph?
I think we can find out. Say hello to Mike Knapp and Jim Stassi, two very proud papas right now watching their sons make their major league, well, one making his major league debut and one making his first start in the big leagues as Brock got in the other night. But Mike, I'll start with you. John Kruk was talking about watching your son for his first at bat. How were the nerves for you? We'll talk about his nerves, but what about for you?
It was actually pretty good, right? It's funny to watch him. I've watched him hit for so long, you can tell if he's in or out, right? And he's taking the pitches he should and swinging at the ones he should. So I actually thought he looked pretty good.
Now, Jim, you got a chance to watch Brock at bat on opening day. He walked in that at bat. What about you? Were you sitting at the edge of your seat at that point?
Not really. You know, I experienced a major league debut with my middle son, and that was kind of spur of the moment, so that was really nerve-wracking. But watching the whole process through spring training, getting to this point was to kind of calm the nerves a little bit.
These guys are just cool customers. That's all it is. Yeah. Let's talk about the emotional side of it, though, because I know you both got phone calls soon after the guys found out that they were going to be on the 25-man roster. What was that moment like for you?
Goosebumps and tears, man. It's you know, you always kind of dream of that, and especially as he's coming up in the organization. To actually have it become real, it was kind of surreal, and it was a lot of quiet times on the phone between Andrew and I.
I know Brock, he came in spring with one thought in mind. He had to hit, and he had to hit to make the team. He started early hitting, and he kept it up. At what point did you think to yourself, well, this could happen?
Well, a couple years ago, he made a swing adjustment, and it paid off big time for him when he was Player of the Year in AA in Reading. And then last year, he had a pretty good year offensively in Lehigh Valley. And he has so much confidence now. He went to Venezuela this offseason and hit well down there. And he had so much confidence coming into spring training that I knew he was going to, offensively, he was going to be fine.
Both of you guys were ball players, both played at AAA, and getting a chance to see your guys at the major league level. I think it was you, Mike, that said if you had to, you'd pick him over yourself playing in the big leagues.
Absolutely. I mean, what dad wouldn't say that, right? I mean, I had a good career. I actually played against Crucky and Yuma of all places. And it was a fun journey. It didn't work out for me to get to the big leagues, and so to be able to see him do this, I get to live a little bit through him, and it's just a thrill, super big thrill.
And another cool part is there's a history with the families. I mean, you guys live close by. You played against each other back in high school, is that right? Or your high schools played against each other, and you got a chance to see the guys growing up and playing as well.
Yeah, I was the head coach at Yuba City High School for 18 years, and Andrew went to Granite Bay High School, and a dear friend of mine, Pat Esposito, is the head coach there. And I got to see Andrew, and he did damage against us his sophomore year all the way through his senior year. And we were in the same conference for a while, so I've seen him a lot.
A lot more fun to be on the same side.
It sure is.
Well, I said to these guys, are you coming to Philadelphia? And like you said,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Can't miss the home opener, right?
Home opener.
Congratulations to you both. Thanks for taking a little time. And I can speak for everybody to say you've got two very, very nice young men as part of this roster, and we really appreciate that as well.
Thank you.
Guys, back upstairs.
All right, Murph, that was cool. Do you remember facing?
I don't remember a lot of things about Yuma. I mean, if you've ever been there, it's funny, we were having this discussion at when we were dining.
How good a place Yuma was.
It is special. It was special.
Well, his dad was a catcher also, but 7 years he spent in AAA.
Yeah, that's longevity, and that takes some mental toughness to keep going back and back and back to play in the minor leagues. But it's like you say, as long as you got a uniform on, you got a chance.
Well, here's Nava, who homered his first time up. He's up with Cesar at first base. And the Phils and the Reds tied at 1. Nava, who also, like Brock, like Knapp, had to win a job in spring training.
Yeah, and I tell you, if I could say anything to minor league kids, it would be like, Brock's dad said he went to Venezuela to play winter ball. He came to spring training. The swing was dialed in because you're facing live pitching.
Ooh, man, talking about dialed in. Nava sends one in the air to deep right center field. It's gone. It goes down the walkway and out of the ballpark. And the Phillies take a 3-1 lead. It's his second home run of the day.
How about that? They were talking in spring training like they'd like to see a little more power out of him. I guess he was saving it. Wow. Again, it looked like that same pitch, the breaking ball that hung. He threw a fastball up that Daniel Nava went after, and knowing he's going to throw a fastball after he hit a breaking ball out of the ballpark, but he threw another breaking ball. It looked like, yeah, there it is, something off speed. Look at it. You see Rookie Davis, after he threw it, he knew it was gone. I don't care how old you are, you know that sound. When you hear that sound, you're pitching, you know where it's going.
And he delivers a fastball that ran in 1-0. That one was longer than the first home run that he hit. It's his first career multi-home run game.
And we appreciate that. He saved it for the Fighting Phils.
First one was a shot. That one went down the walkway and headed toward the concourse.
Yeah, it was like Adam Dunn territory there.
It was a shot.
Okay, you give the credit, though, to outfielders. They gave it a courtesy jog.
Well, you could hear it off the bat, but then the way Schebler was sprinting back toward the fence, I thought, all right, well, maybe he didn't get all of it. He got all of it.
So you say you want some playing time.
Well, the Phillies had 2 home runs in the opener. They now have 4 on the year. Texas leads with 6. Excuse me, with 8. Cleveland, Houston, and the Dodgers and Oakland all have 6 home runs in the first 3 games.
Clawing our way back up to first place.
Climbing back.
Hold on to this one. Sun's coming out. Look, what a day.
3-2 to Herrera. Not really lost his helmet.
I'm sure that that's not the 3-1 pitch that Matt Stairs is looking for him to swing at. A little breaking ball down. You look fastball, you don't get it. Head in the count, you hope you can take it.
I'm surprised he threw a 3-1 breaking pitch. Throws the same pitch and he pulls it down the right field line. And Odubel's on his way to second base. Schebler's throw won't get there in time, so a double and 3 straight hits for the Phillies here in the 3rd.
Good things happen when you put balls in play. He got a chance, and Odubel swung at the breaking ball in the dirt 3-1, got to 3-2, and Davis said, you know what, I'm going to try it again. And you can see he was still out in front, but he had his hands back. When you keep your hands back, you always have a chance, no matter what the pitch is. And he gets that ball past Joey Votto, and Schebler can't get there in time, and Odubel running hard gets into second. Now, Franco has to do the job right here. You have to find some way to get him over.
Michael flied out to left his first time up.
This could be an at-bat that he needs, knowing that he has to try to stay up the middle or the other way. Might keep him to stay on a ball. He has that tendency. He had it in the spring to pull off and be pull happy.
Well, they're trying to get him to pull it too.
If they throw a breaking ball away, though, he threw 2 in. If he throws something away right here, breaking ball away, he might get that rollover. Tried. That was the hope. You throw in to get him conscious of in. You throw him something slower away, and hopefully pulls off and hits a rollover grounder to short or third, so he can't advance the runner.
Michael hits that one back just below us. All right, so that pitch was sort of up and over, and he still tried to.
Yeah, but if he hits that ball hard enough into the outfield, Billy Hamilton can throw a little bit, but that could be one that Odubel can tag up on. Yeah, that wasn't. Look
at the replay. It was much higher than I thought.
Yeah, it was a lot higher than we could see from up here.
Staying alive.
And now you abandon the get him over game plan. And you hope that the pitcher and the catcher still think you're trying to give that approach and get something middle in, and if he can't hit one up in those seats.
You say that because he's the cleanup hitter or just any hitter?
No, because he's a cleanup hitter. Abandoned it.
Over to the left side. Cozart looks Odubel back. Odubel's on his way to third, and he'll get there with a head-first slide. That's a pretty good assessment by Odubel Herrera.
Yeah, real good assessment, and just great base running. Franco didn't get the job done as far as hitting the ball the other way, but Odubel just read it perfectly, and he didn't have a big. He was actually going back to the base, but he saw how far the Cozart had to make the throw. And once that ball left his hand, he just took off. And with the 3-1 game right now the Reds have to play the infield in. So any ground ball hit hard, if it's not hit at someone, we got a 4th run.
Saunders flied out to left his first time up.
Take that again.
Had a play, and it's 0-1. Saunders now 1 for 5 to kick off the season. Ties him up, and it's 0-2.
If you're sitting on the bench, you're the on deck hitter. You have to notice that it seems like since there's been a guy in scoring position, since Odubel hit the double, he's trying to go hard in on both righties and lefties. So there might be a situation next inning, or maybe even this inning for Knapp, that if Saunders can get on base, that he might look middle in. They don't, pitchers, the scouting report's one thing, but habits get into their head the other way. Like, okay, I got to try to pitch this guy in to try to get a broken bat blooper or a ground ball somewhere.
Two balls and 2 strikes as Turner smothers it. Pete used Saunders as a pinch hitter in yesterday's game. He said that his thought was that he'd be able to drive the ball. Pete discussed a couple different moves from yesterday's game. He got a piece of it. We asked him about Freddie Galvis up with runners on first and second last night, and if he had thought about bunting, and he said, we thought about it. Quite honestly, we weren't really hitting the ball that well, and I felt like Freddie had a better chance than anybody else to drive the ball. He said, I just wasn't comfortable playing for a tie on the road.
Well, I mean, if you knew Daniel Nava was going to start the game off with 2 homers, you could toss him in there.
Swing and a miss. Well, that's a good pitch. Saunders is struck out, and still a runner at third with 2 outs, and Andrew Knapp is coming up.
Hey, get them both out of the way. Get that first hit, first RBI out of the way. Fill up the board. Fill up the columns. It's a really good pitch, though, by rookie Davis. His hit ball starts, looks like it's middle in. He threw him fastballs in that Saunders fought off, and then you throw a breaking ball in, something off speed. It looks like it's going to be in, down and in. Breaks out of the zone. You swing over top.
Starts him off with a changeup. 0-1.
You see him take that swing he had in that home run against Pittsburgh. Shoot that thing to left center. That was a pitch right there to do it.
I think he knows it too.
Yeah, that was it. Turner wanted that pitch in, hard in, and boy, that thing just leaked over the dead center of the plate.
Phillies drafted Knapp when he was at Cal. The thought would be that once he got his legs under him catching, because he didn't catch his entire career at Cal, that his bat would take him to the big leagues probably sooner than his glove. I love the fact that he was a switch hitting catcher too. It's a foul, and it remains 1-2.
How neat would that be if he had a foul ball and his dad caught it?
I was thinking the same thing on that. I was looking to see where his dad was.
We'll find Murph. You know Murph don't move around much.
I'm always on the move, John.
As you lean against that pole down in the dugout.
I thought the pole was going to fall down.
1-2 pitch. He stays alive again. .67 pitches overall for rookie Davis, 31 in this inning. Phillies have gotten 2 runs and 3 hits so far.
And deep counts, which make the young man work.
That one gets away. Did he go? No. Nobody's covering home, and Odubel scores. Rookie Davis did not cover home, so Odubel Herrera was able to score easily. And the Phillies lead it 4-1. They did appeal to Phil Cuzzi whether Knapp did swing or not, and Phil Cuzzi said no.
Immediately. See if he went. Nope, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think it's a good call by Phil Cuzzi, but a great read by Odubel. And you know, you'd like to say it's a rookie mistake by rookie, but that's something you learn in Little League. You know, I have issues with announcers that say, oh, he overthrew the cutoff man. Oh, he's a rookie. No, you learn that stuff in Little League.
Yeah, he was pointing on the mound instead of coming to cover home. You got to know who's running over third too. I mean, if it's somebody else with no speed.
And he's aggressive. He's
right.
An aggressive base runner. It paid off. Both, you know, going from second to third on an aggressive play and third to home.
Wandy Peralta warming up in the pen, and ball 4. So Knapp draws a walk. And Brock Stassi is coming up. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. And please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, John, the question is, who was the last Reds player to hit 3 home runs in one game? The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. As Mac Jenkins is out to chat with his young pitcher. As we said, he's thrown a lot of pitches during this inning.
The last Red to hit 3 home runs in a game.
Last Red. I will tell you that.
Is he playing today?
Yeah, he is playing today, which may give it away to you. Brock Stassi.
See Brock get on the board here. He hits that same ball he hit his first at bat. It gets through.
And he lines it foul. Fortunately, it hit a vacant seat over the tarp.
Over under.
Well, the weather's kind of chilly today.
Day game. Kids in school. Today's not Saturday, is it?
Today is not. 0-2.
Here's what's amazing. Brock Stassi's had 2 at-bats in the big league, and they're already shifting on him. Third baseman's way over. Suarez is way over. Cozart's up the middle. Can't get away with anything anymore. He's walked and grounded out to first.
It is kind of interesting.
And now you have a scattering report on him.
Because I kind of think about even spring training. If he did anything that would show that he is a, well, it might even just be because he's a left-hander. Popped him up. Shortstop Cozart is under it. And that'll do it for the Phillies here in the 3rd inning. But they did get 3 runs. Odubel scored on a wild pitch. That was after Daniel Nava crushed his 2nd home run of the day out over right center field. So the Phils lead it 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. by your local Ford store. Check out every new Ford car, truck, and SUV crossover at buyfordnow.com today. And by Papa John's, the day after every Phillies win, get 50% off regular menu price pizzas using the promo code Phillies. Phillies lead it 4-1. Rain is falling. It is a little windy out on the bridge. Look at that. The umbrella's moving every which way. If he turned the umbrella the other way, he might fly over into Kentucky.
Yeah, but he turns it the other way, he's going to get some good momentum going up that hill.
Yes, he would.
Good and bad with everything.
Here's Rookie Davis, and he hits one well to left field. On the run is Nava, and it is off the base of the wall. Rookie Davis on his way to second. The throw by Nava not in time. His first major league at bat results in a double. And his family maybe not excited about the way he's throwing so far, but certainly excited about the way he's hitting.
Well, he didn't wait around either.
Nope.
They go up there and take a pitch. How about I'm just hacking on the first one, and fastball that runs up and in, and he got to it pretty quick. If that ball didn't stick there at the bottom, he might have had a chance, because rookie wasn't exactly flying around the bases.
He didn't get a chance to hit until last year for the first time in the minors.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
Here's where you got to watch a bunt from Hamilton.
Franco's in on the grass at third, cheating in. And he does show bunt, and it's 1-0.
I mean, that's the thing. If you're Buchholz, you're a veteran pitcher, you got a rookie coming up who just gave up 3 runs. And you're thinking, you know, he's probably not going to swing first pitch and throw a get me over fastball, and he hits it off the wall and left.
Hamilton shows bunt again. This time takes it first strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hamilton last year was among the league leaders in sacrifice bunts with 11. His goal is not only to sacrifice, but his goal is to get on base.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Watching the defensive alignment, Stassi's charging, and you know Franco has to try to read it, but
out towards shallow right field. Cesar Hernandez backpedaling over the shoulder. He can't hang on. Rookie Davis will hold up at second base. He was in a little bit, cheating.
Yeah, because he has to get over to cover first base on the bunt, so he's in a little bit. If he's back in normal depth, pretty easy play. But yeah, and give Rookie Davis some credit. You know, he could have ran on this play and possibly gotten doubled up, but he had to wait. You know, you see Cesar going back, and he tried to make the over-the-shoulder basket catch. You know, you wonder if he could have maybe gotten around that a little bit, but you know, the good thing is Billy Hamilton can't run now.
Well, they have scored that in E4.
Wow.
That is some tough scoring. On the outside corner to Peraza. I don't think the official score took into account where Cesar was.
Boy, you think you're playing at home too.
Yeah.
Billy Hamilton would have got the benefit of the doubt.
Toward this hole at shortstop. Galvis has it to second for 1. Over to first, not in time. Awfully close at first base.
Well, we said it, we talked about it in spring training. These two guys are going to turn a lot of double plays, very quick with the gloves. You know, once Freddie had to go to his right a couple steps, and you know, that puts Billy Hamilton, the speed of Billy Hamilton, right on top of Cesar. And he still made a good throw to first, but you can see where Peraza was just safe.
Larry Bowa was on the phone checking it out, but he saw the replay and he was across the bag in time. So first and third, 1 out. Double play is still in order.
How about a 2-hopper to Cesar right here?
On the inside corner, 0-1. Pretty good cut on that pitch.
Cut her in. Now see if you can go change up away and hopefully get a rollover. That's where Joey, though, Likes to hit that ball the other way in these situations, stay on it so he doesn't pull off and hit that grounder to the middle infield.
Over toward first, smothered by Stassi. There's one over to second in time, and he did not score. That is a heck of a play by Brock Stassi.
Yeah, he could have gone either way with that. He could have gone to second like he did, or thrown home, because rookie Davis wasn't running hard to home. I don't know if he thought Stassi was going to go to second first, but that's a great play, a great tag, and and he's not at the plate, but we'll talk about that when
Two
we come
mistakes. Phil's up 4-1 as we go to the fourth. When Brock made this play to end the bottom of the third inning, and it was Mike Knapp that told him what kind of play it was, which was very funny. But it's our State Farm double play.
Yeah, we talked about Stassi and the fact that if he gets enough playing time, they think he can win a Gold Glove. A great play, quick tag, great throw. Watch the reactions though. Quick, he gets up to his feet, steps on the bag, throws a great throw to Freddie at second. But Peraza stops right there. The run will score, but how do you know?
Well, State Farm here to help you go right, help life go right. Yeah, now if it was a traditional double play where Stassi went to second for force, back to first for force, rookie Davis doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fact that he went to first and it became a tag play at second, then Davis matters. The fact that he didn't cross the plates.
And I don't know if that had anything to do with, I don't know, but they took him out of the game. They let him hit to start off the inning, the bottom of the third. Now they've taken him out of the game.
And Peralta is on the pitch, and Galvis hits one towards second base, and Peraza makes the catch. But I think your point, though, John, is a good one. There are two things. Davis not really running.
Yeah.
And then Peraza, if he had the presence of mind to stop and get in a rundown, would have enabled Davis to score.
And that's where you have to read the shortstop. If he's straddling the bag, it's going to be a tag. If he's on the inside, where the throw has to come from in that situation from the first baseman, then they're trying to turn a double play the conventional way.
Peralta's numbers from last year, an 8.59 earned run average in limited time.
But let's not take away what the play that Stassi made. An unbelievable play. Not sure Clay's a big fan of that left-handed breaking ball.
He wanted the righty to stay in there another inning or so.
Give him a chance. Just give me a shot at him.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
He has a hit, right? Didn't we talk about that in spring training?
2 for 13.
2 for, I ain't bad.
Now he's 2 for 15. HP's new series of color LaserJet printers deliver unmatched quality, and their Jet Intelligent toner cartridges print up to 1/3 more pages. Get yours from who? But WB Mason today and experience the difference. Nobody beats WB on HP. Cesar Hernandez the batter, and he bunts foul. Cesar's 1 for 2.
Interesting, trying to bump with two outs, but moves the infield in a little bit.
Another lefty warming up with the bullpen.
Wow, this young man can wing it. Pitch was 97 miles an hour.
Must have been his command that got him into trouble last year with his ERA in the limited time.
97 down to 83. How can you miss that?
Fights it off the right field line. Joey Votto is over, and he can't hang on, and he's fortunate that he didn't get hurt. No play on that one.
That's a tough one. Yeah, you know that ball's going to slice away from you, but I mean, I'm sure if he asked Joey, he would think I should have had that, but that would have been a great play if he had caught it.
Swing and a miss. Cesar strikes out. Yeah, the Phillies go down in order here in the 4th inning. 1, 2, 3. We've played 3.5. Peralta, pretty impressive 4th inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th. By Toyota. Find your favorite model today. Toyota, let's go places. By WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for fast, free delivery? Nobody does it better. And by T-Mobile. Only T-Mobile lets you stream, post, and share all things MLB. With T-Mobile One, unlimited data means unlimited baseball. Well, with John Kruk and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. That little guy's in the house wearing his Phillies colors. Phillies will head home after this. Opening day at Citizens Bank Park, the home opener at Citizens Bank Park tomorrow.
Apparently he was behind Brock Stassi's dad getting a hot dog last inning. You never know when greatness is going to happen. You got to stick around and watch.
I know we only showed you a little piece of it, but it was funny watching the whole thing unfold. As Duvall takes a strike, it's 0-1, and the fact that it was Mike Knapp that told him that his son made a great play. Duvall went down looking on strikes his first time up. 1-2. Two different breaking pitches, two different spots.
Two different. To me, that's an effective pitch. So you throw that ball right at the right-hander's hip and try to bring it back on the inside corner. Now, do you go fastball in there, or do you stick with the breaking ball?
I got a piece of Andrew Knapp. It remains 0-2, so he'll get a breather.
Breather's necessary in that situation.
A lot of breathing.
Tough to do it, but
ooh, that didn't even bounce.
golly.
So you want to be a big league catcher. Yeah, well, he's got his wits about him. No balls and 2 strikes. Look out. Ooh. That ball was rocketed into the Reds dugout.
What Duvall says, if I'm going down, I'm taking people with me.
Yeah. And a line drive right toward the vacant spot on the right side. And that's his 4th hit so far this season. Wasn't hit all that hard, but Cesar was shifted over to the left side.
Yeah, that's a 2-strike approach going against the shift. It's a beautiful piece of hitting by Duvall. You know, unless he hit a bullet at Brock Stassi, who's the Lone Ranger over there, it had no chance of making any play on him.
Have you bought into all the shifting that goes on? I mean, I guess you have to a certain extent.
Yeah, I guess to a certain extent, but you know, Clay's probably looking at it like, man, I just made a great pitch and the guy got a base hit, didn't hit it hard. But you know, data spits out that the majority of the time he's not going to hit it there.
There's a base hit out toward left center field. Nava cuts it off, heading to third is Duvall, so he'll get there. So runners on first and third with nobody out. Phillies with a 3-run lead, but the Reds are threatening here in the bottom of the 4th. All right, now you just play for 2. Follow Phillies baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball.
Hey, you would love a double play right here. Just let the run score. 4-2, no big deal. We're in their bullpen already.
Reds are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position today. Neither team has really lit a fire in this series.
That's where that stat's misleading, because one of the at-bats is a sacrifice fly. You know, they did do a job, even though that's not considered an at-bat. But I think they should change the rule, you know, for what Schebler did. You know, he gave himself up and got a runner over. And it throws everything out of whack, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. There might be a number for that, though.
They have to go back to the 1800s and redo everyone's stats.
Inside, 2-0. This inning started rather innocently. He was able to get ahead of Duvall.
Let's see if he can use the aggressiveness of a young hitter. First and third, 2-0 count. You know he's looking for something hard to try to turn on. Maybe you can throw him that changeup and see if he can, or some sort of breaking ball, see if he can't get him to either chase or hit one in a slow on the ground somewhere.
That just slipped right out of his hand. Cozart's on deck. He had a sac fly his first time up.
I don't know if that was just something to get Clay back in order, but 3-0. Suarez ain't running. You wouldn't think.
Swinging on that one.
Yeah, swinging 3-0, but not running 3-0. Wow. Interesting move.
Guess Brian Price thought he was going to get a fastball, so
got one. Without some off speed. Get that roll over Cesar, please.
Ball 4. So the bases are now loaded. And here comes Cozart. He's stirred a little bit. I don't know if he hopped up because he was thinking about getting somebody up. I mean, he's only thrown 45 pitches. He's got a 3-run lead. But he jumped up pretty quickly. All right, so now Cozart's up. The bases are loaded. Same scenario, though. Try to get the double play ball.
Yes. Tough to get a double play, though, if you don't throw a strike. That's where you got to make a pitch.
That one just missed off the outer edge. 2-0. He's got the number 8 batter, Stuart Turner, on deck.
This is where you wish someone in the infield would call timeout and go in and talk to him. Just slow things up a little bit.
Not sure if that's where he wanted the pitch, but it was effective. And it's 2-1.
That's missing location from one side of the plate to the other, from down to up too.
And a line drive out to left field. That'll be in for a base hit. One run is in. They'll hold the runner at third. And it's now a 4-2 ball game. Bases remain loaded. Still nobody out. And that's the second RBI of the day for Cozart. And Stuart Turner will be the hitter. Bob McClure heading out to the mound.
I mean, the location was kind of where he wanted it. But you see the pitch, it was just spinning. It wasn't breaking down and away. It was just spinning in that location.
So a quick conversation. McClure is familiar with Buchholz from when he was the pitching coach in Boston. Clay was fine with his command for the first 3 innings. Here, though, he's fallen behind everybody except for the leadoff batter. That was Adam Duvall, who reached on a single to start the inning. So Turner struck out looking his first time up.
He take that again. Quick.
Fly ball right field. That's pretty well hit. Saunders going back on it, makes the catch. Everybody's tagging. The throw goes towards second, and Cozart is safe at second base. A run scores. It's now a 4-3 ball game. It's pretty aggressive base running by Cozart.
Yeah, really aggressive base running, but you know, he saw Saunders. He couldn't. Ball was hit too hard for him to get around it to get any momentum coming in. He still made a strong throw to second base, but you know, he took a chance right there and got rewarded for it.
And Turner gets his first career RBI. And Scooter Gennett will pinch hit.
You know, if there was just a runner on third, the Phillies would have the infield in, but you know, second and third right now, you don't want a slow hit grounder to get past the infield and let 2 runs score. Give them 1, let them tie it, but you don't give them 2.
Gennett hit the 2-run home run the other night to make it a 4-3 game. The other day, I should say. A lot of people were surprised that the Brewers let him go. It's not like he struggled in spring training. He had .325 in spring training for Milwaukee.
And he's not making a lot of money, is he?
I guess they needed the roster spot.
Wow.
Broke his back, ground ball right side. The game will be tied. It's an RBI for Gennett. As Scheffler crosses the plate, there are 2 outs and a runner at third. A 4-4 game. That ball was, the bat was helicoptering right past Buchholz.
Yeah, you can't fault Clay Buchholz for not covering first base on that play, but give Stassi a lot of credit. A lot of first basemen will catch that ball flat-footed and expect the pitcher to be there, but he caught it with momentum going toward first base. You watch this thing just explode right here and right in the path of Clay Buchholz. Where that thing broke. Like, it didn't break in half. It just all the way up in the middle.
Well, Billy Hamilton is up with a runner at third, 2 men down. 3 runs have scored for the Reds. 1-1 to Hamilton.
Here's 2 where you see Franco, you see Stassi both in, because 2 outs, you know, Hamilton can lay down a bunt. The runner on third. Cesar's in, which he has to be.
Just a bit low, 2-1. It's Cozart over at third base. Pitches in this inning. Fortunately, though, his pitch count for the first 3 was pretty reasonable, including a 9-pitch third. And now the 2-2 pitch coming to Hamilton. Off the end of the bat, flared out toward right center, caught out of the air by Cesar Hernandez. And the side is retired. This time Cesar is able to track it down, but the Reds scored 3 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. They leave 1. We're tied at 4. turning points. And we look back to last night's ball game. This is Joey Votto. And Votto with that breaking pitch hits it into the air, and Gonzo on that curve from Jared Eichhoff. That was our turning point in last night's game. In a scoreless game, Joey Votto gave them 1-0 lead.
Yeah, no run support given to Eichhoff in that game, and still thought when Votto hit that home run we had a chance, but the Reds pitching just didn't want to give anything up last night.
Well, here's Cody Reed, who is another lefty out of the bullpen for the Reds. Cody Reed last year 0-7 with a 7.36 ERA.
Lefties, righties 335. Lefties hit over 300 against him.
He slings that one in at 96 miles an hour.
That's what I can't understand.
It's got to be a command thing.
Well, I mean, still the command, but if you're hitting 330 off of him, it's got to be a little more than that. Maybe that's the only thing he has.
Foul tip by Nava, who's 2 for 2 with 2 home runs in his first 2 at bats. Pretty nice debut in a Phil's uniform. Of course, he made his.
Has anyone ever hit 4 home runs, 2 from the left and 2 from the right? I'm saying no.
We can check it out. I can't imagine anybody's done that in a game.
Well, let's hope he hits the 3rd one first.
Then we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Get people stirred.
Then we can go over the historical content.
Well, here we go. Part of the content. First Phillies player to homer in first 2 plate appearances since Jeremy Giambi back in May of 2002. 3-1.
Might be command issues.
He is rated as the number 2 prospect in the Reds organization.
A lefty that throws 90s in the mid to upper 90s, sure.
And ball 4, so Nava is aboard. Today's Toyota turning point is Daniel Nava and his 2 home runs.
Got a breaking ball in the first at bat against rookie Davis, and he hits this one out of the ballpark. And then next at bat, he decided, well, you know what? He did it once. I don't think he can do it twice. Another breaking ball up in the zone. Daniel Nava delivers that one into the little concourse area out there, and those are our Toyota turning points of the game.
Hopefully there'll be another turning point in just a little bit with Odubel Herrera coming up and Nava over at first. I noticed that Murph has his umbrella up, so that means it's starting to rain again.
I've given up on him.
You're not the first.
3 games into the season, we're done, Murph.
It was a real pleasure, John.
Is that the umbrella courtesy of one Larry Anderson?
It is. Larry's like a Boy Scout. He is always prepared.
Absolutely positive.
Yeah, we were talking about that today. Yeah, I brought all my golf clothes. Forgot to bring my clubs.
But you're very comfortable today, though, in your golf clothes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. This ain't a warm one.
1 ball and 1 strike to Odubel.
Get a lot nicer right here if Odubel hits one in a gap or over the fence.
The Reds have added more bullpen guys these first few days of the season, which is obviously something that a lot of teams do with the off days. And Odubel wants a little extra pine tar.
He does the spray thing. I want to ask him what that is. I'm assuming it's some sticky stuff, but I've never seen the spray. Bruce Bochy used to get this stuff. It was like glue. It was liquid and like a gel, and he would cake it all over his bat. Maybe he hit one once. He's trying to run to first and couldn't get out of his hands. Chalk's non-existent. Apparently, it's not good to breathe in if you slide into it. Paint now.
3-1.
It's madness, I say. Madness.
Never really thought about exchanging chalk for paint as far as your breathing purposes go.
Yeah, no. No lead in it, though, apparently.
Is that really?
That's all healthy. Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
the game is healthier.
We're going green.
Vegan
green.
And ball 4. Well, it must be command issues. That puts runners on first and second. Back-to-back walks given up by Cody Reed. And Maikel Franco's coming up.
There's nothing more frustrating. Your team battles back, scores 3 to tie the game up at 4. If not for a great play by Cesar Hernandez, it could have been 5-4. Your pitcher comes out the next inning and walks the first 2 and doesn't give you a chance to defend yet. This is where Franco has to be aggressively patient. Look for a fastball in the spot you like it in. If you get it, let it go. If not, then you have to let it go.
95 on the inner half. It's 0-1.
Apparently that wasn't the one to let it go.
Yeah, I think he was thinking something different. Little cue shot. He didn't get the fastball that time. Nava goes back to second. Odubel still at first. Cody Reed was also part of that that deal for Johnny Cueto when Cueto went to the Royals.
So the Royals could have had another guy in their bullpen thrown in the mid to upper 90s.
That's exactly right.
How many more do you need?
See, when he was with the Royals, the one year he walked 36 in 84 innings. But he struck out 144 in 145 innings of work.
Well, you can see why.
That was the next year. No balls, 2 strikes to Franco. Inside, 1-2.
Tell you what I've noticed too, when he quick pitches like that, comes set and goes immediately. Both times he's throwing an off-speed pitch. Like when he holds it a little bit, he goes to that fastball. See here, he's holding. Slider.
Yeah, it was. Franco is struck out. And that's the first out.
I think Franco wants him to look and see if it bounced.
Yeah, Franco thought the ball may have bounced. Now they're saying, Saunders, you come up. Franco's looking into the dugout. Pete Buchanan's coming up the stairs. Take a look.
I think he got it.
I think he got it. I think it's the glove that knocked the dirt around. See if we can slow it up a little bit. Oh, he's saying he didn't foul it at all. Well, it doesn't matter. Caught it either way. I think it was just wishful thinking.
Yeah, been there.
Franco now is 0 for 3 today, 2 for 11 in the series. Now Saunders is up. Cody Reed this spring started a couple games for the Reds when they were trying to figure out their rotation. His ERA was pretty good as a starter. I think I might put this guy in the bullpen too.
Yeah, you know, if he can get better command of the strike zone, you can see him as a not only a situational lefty, but a guy that can give you an inning or two.
That one's pulled to the right side, and that might be 2. There's 1 and 2. 4-6-3 double play. No runs, no hits, 1 man left for the Phillies. On to the bottom of the 5th. We're tied up at 4. again for the Iron Pigs this year. He was the International League Pitcher of the Year. Dylan Cousins homered in the exhibition game the other day. He is part of the Iron Pigs this year. Dusty Wathan in his first year as the manager of the Iron Pigs. The Reading Fightins are postponed tonight against the Portland Sea Dogs. That storm is kind of rolling to the north that we have seen over the last couple of days. So we begin the bottom of the 5th inning, and Jose Peraza will lead it off.
Reading playing in Portland?
In Portland.
Ooh, that'll be nice and toasty up there, huh? Did you see the Red Sox? I saw the Red Sox highlights. Oh yeah, man.
They went extra innings yesterday.
Yeah, that was frigid. Hey.
Peraza did go around. It's 0-2. I remember opening a minor league season in Portland, and it snowed. I think it was the first 3 days were postponed because of snow, and just turned around and came back.
Pass.
Fly ball to right center field. Easy play for Saunders. One away, and Joey Votto's coming up. We mentioned this the other night. The Phillies are offering a student steal, a fantastic new offer for all high school, college, and graduate students. $15 tickets plus the first John on Us from Ashburn Alley. Chickies and Pete's Crab Fries, Tony Luke's, Primo's, Bull's Barbecue, or hot dog and soda, anything up to $12 value. Good for all home games in April and September. Order as many as you like. Phillies.com/student steal to order, or show your student ID at any Citizens Bank Park ticket window on game days. I think somebody should go up to the Bull and say, "I'll take that John," and see if he has any idea what it is.
Bull?
Yeah.
I would.
Base it up the middle for Votto. He's 1 for 3 today.
I'd love to hear his response to that.
Murph, you think your old high school coach would know what that is?
No shot.
No shot.
No shot.
Boy, ye of little faith, Murph.
I just may.
That's because he cut him. That's why he doesn't
well,
have any
that's
faith
true.
in him.
So he's a good coach then. He was
Excellent judge of talent. Don't make me come up there.
Hey, sick Bull on you, man. He already got rid of you once.
Duvall singled his last time up. He fouls this one off his foot, and it's 0-1. Yeah, it's going to smart a little bit.
He's got that thing from mid shin all the way down. The only thing it doesn't cover is his knee and his toe. Guess where he hit it?
Right on that big toe.
You ever done that?
Foul the ball off my foot?
Yeah.
I fouled the ball off my ankle twice in succession in high school.
It's a great feeling.
Toss over to first, and Votto back with a short tag.
Why do people say, oh, especially on a cold day? Hey, what's the difference? If it's 100 degrees out and you hit a ball off your toe, it's going to hurt.
Yeah,
if it's 30 degrees out, you hit a ball off your toe, it's still going to hurt.
I will never use it again. 0-2. Buchholz trying to get out of this 5th inning. Reds have had base runners in every inning so far against him. But aside from the 4th, he's managed his pitch count. This play by Knapp. Quick backhand. softened it up a little bit, and he was able to get Duvall. There are 2 outs. That's the 3rd strikeout of the day for Buchholz. Tonight, right here on CSN, 2-time Rookie of the Month, Dario Saric. And the Sixers are home to take on Jimmy Butler and the Chicago Bulls. Total coverage starts tonight at 6:30. Live stream the game on csnphilly.com and the NBC Sports app. Now 2 away, and Suarez, who is 2 for 2 today, will be the batter. Outside, 1-0. Buchholz wanted that pitch.
It was close. Had a tough time with Suarez today. Double and a single.
This guy was a decent pickup for the Reds. They got him from the Tigers, and they needed somebody to take over at third base for Todd Frazier when they traded Frazier to the White Sox. I would have to think he was a surprise to hit 21 home runs and have 70 RBIs last year. And obviously a little cheaper than Todd was, or potentially what Todd could be.
Yeah, I think the Tigers knew he could swing the bat. You just don't know what a guy can do on an everyday basis, you know.
Right, and they had Castellanos who was playing third, so. Outside, ball 4. So he walks him on 4 pitches, and that puts runners on first and second for Scott Schebler. 2 walks for Buchholz today. Obviously a well-rested bullpen. It's not like they have to worry about that, and his pitch count is low, but he is pitched out of a lot of jams here this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it. Base runner on every inning. Last few innings, multiple base runners on. Thing is, too, is defense. So you just hope they can stay on their toes, make a play for him if they hit it. He is working quicker than he did in spring training, though, which is a blessing.
I think for him too.
Yeah, it had to get quicker.
Popped him up.
Stay in play.
Third base side. Franco is over and out of play. To the Phillies dugout. Ball 1 strike. Buchholz now 32 years old, former first-round pick of the Red Sox. Balls and 1 strike. I have to admit, I'm surprised more guys don't call time with him as well. And just because his rhythm is different than other pitchers.
Yeah, you know, and that's maybe good for him, frustrating to your defense. You know, Joey Votto's not stealing third with 2 outs. But maybe this is what he thinks he needs to settle himself, is to hold it
and also disrupt the timing of the hitter a little bit. It's a good pitch there on the inner half, 2-2.
Surprise him with that cutter. Yeah. Hey, I had a guy, we had a pitcher once, I'm not going to mention any names, but I mean, here's that cutter by Buchholz right here that could have been off the plate a little bit, but close enough to call strike.
Inside. Even a better pitch, 3-2. Who's the pitcher you're going to throw under the bus?
Not going to throw anyone under the bus. I was going to say, when he kept holding the ball, he wouldn't throw it. Finally go to the mound like, what are you doing? The little man on my shoulder told me not to throw a pitch. I'm like, oh boy. I tell the little man, we're in Montreal. We need to get out of here.
Runners go with a pitch foul back. All around the Delaware Valley, people are getting out rosters and saying, nope, not him, nope, not him.
The little man on my shoulder told me not to throw a pitch.
What do? You just about face to go back to your position?
No. Well, I don't know if you know the rules, but if you don't throw a pitch, we don't finish the game.
Well, obviously, the little man doesn't know all the rules.
Yeah, educate him on the rule book. Good pitch.
Popped up third base side, foul territory. Franco waits, and the inning is over. The Reds leave a couple base runners here in the 5th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. On to the 6th. We're tied up at 4. Season. Odubel Herrera was the Phillies' leader in hits with a career-high 167. Plus, he ranked among the NL best in games, infield hits, singles, and 4-hit games. He became the first Philly with 15 homers and 25 infield hits since Chase Utley did so in 2006. El Torito was bullish from the start. He was named to his first All-Star team. The Phillies rewarded him with a 5-year contract. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Not a bad day for Odubel Herrera today. He's been on base all 3 times. He has scored once. If he gets up in this inning, that means the Phils are having a productive inning because they'll start things off with Andrew Knapp, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. And Andrew will get a chance to bat right-handed after batting left-handed in his first couple of at-bats.
Need to get Andrew Knapp and Brock Stassi get their big league hits out of the way this inning.
Knapp takes the first pitch low. Murph, one thing about Andrew that we've noticed the last couple of years is that he always has that stern look on his face. Did he stare you down when you asked him about his major league debut?
Not at all, actually. It's funny when we talked to Mike Knapp and I asked him if he was nervous when Andrew got up to the plate, and he said no, I really was not. A couple hours before the game, Andrew was sitting by his locker. I went over and I said, tell me the emotions right now. He said, right now, I feel very calm. He said, I do think I'll be nervous once the game starts, when I get out there, maybe for the first half inning or whatever, I'll have the butterflies. He said, but after that, I think I'll be fine. He said, the biggest issue that he had today, last night, I said, how'd you sleep? He said, I slept fine. I was really tired, but I set 4 alarms because I was so afraid I was going to sleep through. It was an early bus this morning. He was so afraid he was going to miss his alarm and miss his chance to get here to the ballpark. So as long as the alarms went off, he thought he was going to be fine, and he did just that, guys.
So he carries 4 alarms with him, or how's that work?
We'll show you. Your phone has
your
more
phone
than one.
is capable of it.
Well, I know how to do 1. How do you do 4?
Oh, you can add as many as you want.
Oh, man. See, that's just some things I don't need to know.
He walks to lead off the 6th. It's the 3rd walk by Reed. Well, today marks the 2nd time since 1900 that both starting catchers in the same game are making their major league debut as starters. The last time was September of 2010. Max St. Pierre and Lucas May for the Tigers and the Royals. 0-1 Stassi. One pitch now to Stassi. 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls and 1 strike. You know, I mentioned command was an issue for Reed. It was an issue walking guys, but they also said command of the fastball, throwing it right down the middle of the plate was a problem last year.
Yeah, but you know, sometimes a guy throws that hard, you tell him, hey, just throw it down the middle, they can't hit it. But then as you get older, you realize, you know what, some of these guys can hit it. But you see the pitches though, like to Stassi, first pitch strike, he didn't think it was a strike, it was close, borderline. But then the next 3 have not been what pitchers call non-competitive pitches. They're just not pitches where you even think about swinging at as a hitter. As soon as it leaves his hand, they're balls.
There you go, back-to-back walks, just like the 5th inning. He starts the 6th inning with consecutive walks. And here comes Freddie Galvis. All right, so Freddie's up here with runners on first and second. You have Tommy Joseph in the on-deck circle as a pinch hitter. Last night we talked about Pete with runners on first and second not having Freddie bunt or sacrifice because he felt like he gave him his best chance to to drive in a run swinging the bat. I mean, what do you do here?
I mean, the Reds seem to think he's going to bunt. Now, is Freddie a better righty or lefty hitter?
Power-wise, lefty.
And this is a situation that you're going to pinch it for your pitcher. You might want to lay one down.
Corners are pinching, and he does square. And the pitch is taken for a strike. That is a tough pitch. And now they've got Knapp caught between second and third, and he is out. He got a little too far, and he slipped. I thought he was going to get back, and then Turner was not going to throw it down to second base. But he did throw it through, and he had him by plenty.
Yeah, it's a tough pitch. Fastball in, and Knapp just got caught out in no man's land thinking he was going to get that ball down. Wouldn't you know it?
How about that? A routine double play after the pickoff. And the inning is over. So 2 4-6-3 double plays as Reed walked the first 2 batters in his 2 innings. His defense helped him out, plus the base running. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. and by McDonald's. Mix and match any two for just $4. A McDonald's McPick 2 breakfast menu. Home half of the 6th inning, and Adam Morgan will take over out on the mound for the Phils, as Clay Buchholz is done after 5 innings of work. In fact, the Phillies will use a double switch here with their long man coming in. So they'll put Tommy Joseph over at first base. So Joseph will bat in the 9 hole, where he was pinch hitting if Freddie Galvis had gotten on. There's Tommy. So Adam Morgan last year 2-11 with a 6.04 ERA.
And it's an important inning right here. You got the bottom of the order up. You had a base running blunder where you had some momentum going. Hopefully score a run to take the lead, but you have to shut down the little momentum now that the Reds have with getting out of that inning unscathed.
Yeah, because they certainly left Cody Reed off the hook the last 2 innings. I mean, he was all over the place. Over toward third, a foul ball, and it's 0-2. That foul ball went down the left field line. The ball boy missed the ball as it hit off the wall, but he dropped another baseball from his pocket, and he thought it was actually the ball that Cozart hit. Meanwhile, the ball that Cozart hit wound up in left field.
Checking all his pockets, seeing where that thing is. Like he's looking under the rail.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Where did that thing go?
Literally, he's still looking for it.
He's still looking for the ball. Look.
I think he's looking for the baseball he gave the fan that fell out of his pocket.
Oy.
There we go. Ready? He thinks he's got it. Look, he drops the one out of his pocket.
Ball bounced off the wall and hit his ball in his pocket and shot out into.
2 balls and 2 strikes. I think he finally realizes it. Got him.
Good pitch.
Cozart is rung up and 1 away here in the 6th inning.
Get the ball down and running away from Cozart the whole at bat. Cozart's in pull mode. You see that pitch right there, the changeup. Like some guys can make the changeup go both ways. They can make it, lefty can make it run away from a righty, run in. That would look like it ran in on Cozart.
I think that's some of the stuff he's been working on even this spring. I mean, his fastball velocity's been up, but everything else has been down in the strike zone and moving. No balls and 1 strike to Turner.
You pitch in Citizens Bank Park, and we know how the ball travels there. Better pitching now.
Freddie Galvis. 2 outs. And the pitcher spot is due up, and Michael Lorenzan is going to be the pinch hitter, one of the bullpen guys. They'll have a 4-man bench. Maybe that's why.
I guess with 2 outs, they're going to let him hit, and then he's going to stay in. Is he going to stay in the pitch?
I don't think so. He wasn't warming up, but they obviously will not use him today. They got another lefty, of course. Grani's warming up. Lorenzen last year, the highlight of the year for the Reds, voted on by their fans, was Lorenzen in his first major league at bat hit a home run, and it was right after he had come back after his father had passed away, and they put together a video, the Reds did, about the home run and about the emotion out on the mound after he had returned to the hill. It was a pretty impressive thing. So he can hit, I guess.
Apparently 2-0 on him. Pitching him tough. Pitching him careful.
Whacks that one foul, 2-1. And with the 4-man bench, Brian Price has said that he would use him as a pinch hitter. So I guess since he pitched Monday and pitched Wednesday, they weren't going to pitch him today.
Yeah, I'm thinking, Bruce Bochy might want to think about that. The 4 days Bumgarner doesn't pitch, finding a position for him. Let him hit in the middle of that lineup. The thing is, you cross him off coming in. This game gets late, and
that's it.
That's another. Of course, he pitched 2 games already, but
you figure you can give him an inning or so.
You would think.
Out toward right center field. That's well hit. Odubel Herrera going back. It is gone. Michael Lorenzan, a piece out of the bullpen, used off the bench here in the bottom of the 6th inning, has just given the Reds a 5-4 lead. Makes Brian Price look pretty smart.
Yeah, it makes him look smart. Some of the hitters that are struggling for the Reds are probably thinking, "Oh, really? You got to be kidding me." But he's a strong kid. He takes a big swing, and Adam Morgan, we talked about how he's been keeping the ball down and concentrating, and folks not keeping the ball down. That was elevated to Lorenzan.
0-1. Well, that was a pretty good swing.
Yeah, that's a good. I mean, it's a beautiful swing. You see the leg kick, the foot gets down. He's right on time. Yeah, head on the ball the whole way. Release the head so the upper body releases. I don't blame you. I'd be smiling too.
All in a day's work.
Yeah. I don't think I'd go up to a guy who's struggling knowing, boy, did you see that? Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Game's easy.
Yeah. How come you guys can't do this more often? I mean, holy cow. All right, back on it. Get Billy Hamilton out. Keep him off base. 1 run. We can do this.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Hamilton after he fights that one off.
Like 2 quick outs too, and then all of a sudden it's 1 swing.
Last pinch hit home run. Adam Duvall in August of 2015. Over toward third, backhanded by Franco. He's got to hurry. He can't take a beat, and it's just in time. Now the side is retired, but the Reds take the lead. A solo pinch hit home run by Michael Lorenzan.
Around him, maybe.
See Cingrani's numbers last year, 17 saves. Tommy Joseph will bat for the first time. And it's 0-1 to Tommy.
Tommy needs to have a good at bat right here. He hasn't had one all year. Of course, it's early. But trust me, when you 0 for 7 or whatever he is, that's like a long season.
And you're kind of feeling it. Thinking, when is that first hit going to come? See the splits from Tommy last year. Better average against lefties, more home runs against righties, more opportunities against righties. And he rolls that foul, 1-2.
It's like I tell kids, is that don't swing not to miss, swing to hit it. And it looks like Tommy right now is swinging not to miss. It's not that good aggressive pass that he can take at the ball.
He seems like everything's fast. You know, his hands are fast, his legs are fast.
Yeah, he's trying to catch up with his hands and his feet instead of just slowing everything up and timing it different.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
You would think right here he'd get, like to say he'd like to get a good pitch to hit, but you never know anymore.
Opposite way, Schebler on the run. A little better swing. 1 away. Time now for our Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz answer. All right, John, who was the last Reds player to hit 3 home runs in a game? And it came against the Phillies, just so you know.
Adam Duvall.
It's a good guess.
Joey Votto.
Joey Votto is correct.
Dang it. I had a 1 in 2 chance. I narrowed it down to those 2.
Well, when you asked if he was on the team, I had to say yes, obviously, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he's going to say like Suarez or something. Or
I thought about him too. He was like my sleeper pick.
Joey Votto. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. One goes all the way back to the screen.
Tell you what, both catchers are getting a workout, aren't they?
They sure are.
And I'm like 15 feet on the side. It goes to my left. It goes like to my left.
Crowd's into it.
Very quiet. There was a school group that was here. There was about 50 kids that were over by the first base side. They have since left. And
What, they come here for lunch?
they came here for lunch.
And went back to school.
And then it's gotten really quiet. Over to third, Suarez charges and casually makes the play. 2 outs. A reminder that Saturday is opening night at Citizens Bank Park, and the McDonald's opening night t-shirt will be given out to fans 15 and older. 7:05 first pitch. We are not sure who the Nationals are starting on Saturday nights. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com.
Someone got rained out today. The Mets, maybe the Mets got rained out already. Boston did.
Let's check. We'll go to the cloud and check that one out. Mets are scheduled to play tonight.
Nationals play though this afternoon, right?
Nationals are
Against the Marlins.
4:05 start against the Marlins in D.C.
Well, I guess they haven't gotten rained out yet.
Aaron Nola is scheduled to start Saturday's game for the Phillies. Vince Velasquez is going to start tomorrow's home opener. Man, he is going to be amped up for that.
And if it's Max Scherzer, who's scheduled, right?
Apparently he is going to go.
Yeah, there's going to be some leather popping in that game.
2 balls, no strikes to Nava, who's already homered twice today. And now 3-0. Tomorrow's game, by the way, is on NBC 10. We'll be on at 3 o'clock. Full coverage of the pregame will be on NBC 10 and Comcast Sportsnet on CSN. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Big festivities planned for opening day?
Always are. It all starts earlier in the day on Citizens Bank Way, which kind of will look like what this ballpark looked like on the opener. All the fans. 3-2. Awfully good to get out of here with 2 of 3 instead of losing 2 of 3.
Absolutely. Last year when the Phillies got swept here, did they go back home after that, or did they go stay on the road?
We went back home after that.
Never a good idea to come back to Philly 0-3.
And a strike 3 called. And Nava is down looking, and that will wrap up the 7th inning. Nothing across. Time to stretch. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. 5-4. Reds on top.
Yesterday, this was at Nemours Alfred I. DuPont Hospital for Children. Yeah, they had a pep rally with patients, give away food and some crafts for the kids, and everyone got to meet Fred Allward. That is Fred right there throwing the pitch to the Fanatic. He's going to throw out the first pitch tomorrow on Nemours opening day, guys, at Citizens Bank Park. He is a 15-year-old patient at Nemours Hospital, and it was a great day for everyone involved. Fanatic always getting out there, putting some smiles on some faces, is he not?
He is. It's going to be a great day tomorrow. Kane Callis is going to sing the national anthem out by HK's statue. In fact, Sylvia Green, the widow of the late great Dallas Green, is going to throw out the first pitch.
Wow.
Tomorrow's game, as Adam Morgan delivers a strike to Peraza.
Hey, the Phillies know how to do it right.
They do. You were asking about the ceremonies. There's always great ceremonies that surround opening day in Philadelphia. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, just to correct myself, we went to New York before we went home last year.
And we discussed this during the commercial. I should ask Murph.
And I said to you that Murph will never remember a trip to New York. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Phillies lost the first one in New York. They were 0-4 and then won the next 2 before they went home to take on the Padres.
I remember that like it was yesterday, Tom.
Yes, you do. Now that we've recalled it for each of us. And a line drive, base hit it to right center field. Pitch that was up. And Peraza is able to get aboard with his 3rd hit of the year.
Seems like every hit he's had, well, the 3 hits that he's had, have come the other way. That's another one that got the ball up. Did Adam Morgan, and Peraza, we know that he's not trying to pull anything. He's just trying to shoot it the other way and get on base, and he did for this man.
Yeah, Joey Votto is 1 for 3 today. Swinging a miss at the first pitch. Votto had 2 hits in this series.
Looked like a good pitch.
It did look like it was
Wasn't
closer than
high.
Votto made it seem. Time now for our Coors Cold Hard Fact, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. And Votto, one of 3 hitters in Reds history that have had seasons of 320 batting average or more and a 430 on base percentage or more. Joe Morgan, the other one, in 75 and 76.
So there's only 2.
Only 2.
You said 1 of 3.
One of 3 seasons, I meant.
Tell you what, this whole New York thing got you confused, doesn't it?
I'm trying to figure out what the rest of the schedule was last year.
Why Joe Morgan's a Hall of Famer then, huh? Statue out in front of the ballpark.
I told you we passed the statue, by the way.
Get
The
him.
pitch is outside. A throw to second on 1 hop, and he is safe. I guess he slid right past Freddie's tag.
I wonder if Freddie missed the tag. That short hop throw from Knapp. Yeah, he missed
Yeah, he
him.
missed him. Tried to sell it, but Tom Hallion was not biting. It's kind of an optical illusion. Almost looked like he got his shoulder on that one shot. It remains 2-2 as Votto fouls it off. I try to keep this at a 1-run game.
Yeah, and this is the thing with Votto. He doesn't like to strike out. Of course, who does? But he really dislikes it. So he will shorten up. And you hope he shortens up enough that he tries to go the other way and he hits a fly ball to Daniel Nava in left field. So Peraza can't advance. See Morgan maybe go hard in because he's trying to fight everything off that can get that inside out fly ball to left field.
He got him.
There you go.
He went reaching for it. And Votto is struck out. Carapazza was a little indecisive as he took a peek at the baseball.
I think Votto told him the ball hit the dirt. Carapazza looked at it and he said, wait a second, I don't see any dirt on this thing. No.
See the misdirection of the ball at the end of the bat. It was a good play by Knapp, even though it's hard to even think about practicing that. So 1 out, and here's Duvall, who is 1 for 3.
Got to pitch careful to him right here. 7th inning. I think once you get Votto out, now you move on to the next guy who do we not want to let beat us. I know Suarez has swung the bat pretty well in this game, 2 for 2 with a walk, but
short swing. Nice play by that youngster there.
Chase Utley fan. Can't fault him for that. I think this is a situation where if Duvall wants to get himself out, you let him. If you walk him, so be it.
It's not the worst thing. You have the double play in order with Suarez coming up. It's low, 2-1.
Like it's 3 changeups in a row for Morgan to Duvall.
Peraza over at second base. Runner goes toward third. And a fly ball foul down the right field line. He got a really good jump off second base.
One out to take a chance.
The only thing is you better get there.
You better make it because you got your 4th hitter up.
And you got good speed, so you're already in scoring position. Tried to get it in, and then he fouled it off. By the way, I mentioned Chase Utley before. 0 for 2 so far to start the year. He's been basically an extra bat off the bench for the first couple of games for the Dodgers.
Picked up Logan Forsythe.
Correct.
To play second base.
I think Chase kind of knew that going in, that he would probably be, you know, an extra man. And a high fly ball deep to left field. Forget about it. A couple of insurance runs for the Reds. That ball was hit a mile by Duvall. His first home run of the year. It's his 5th hit of the season. And the Reds have extended their lead. It's now 7-4. Boy, that was a short swing. That ball was gone off the bat.
Yeah, real short swing by Adam Duvall. You know, we said it throughout the at bat. If he wants to get himself out, you let him. If you walk him, so be it. That pitch was pretty much center cut. And you see all these pitches right here. His first pitch strike, and then he goes down, down. 93, good pitch. A cutter in on the hands. Another one that's just down in the zone. But you know, when you throw him that many off-speed pitches, after a while you see him, and it doesn't surprise you.
Well, he just swept that bat right through. You know, the one he fouled off before, we said he tried to get it in. Looking at our pitch cast, he didn't get it in as far as I thought he did, even though he fouled it off.
Brought the rain too.
0-2 to Suarez. So the Phils down by 3. They had a 3-run lead, and now the Reds have been able to score 6 unanswered runs. One ball, 2 strikes.
Didn't they do that the first game? They scored early and then held on.
Yeah, they jumped out to the early lead and
add on.
Brian Price even said that after the game, that he wasn't, I mean, he was upset that they lost the opener. He said, but our pitchers did a pretty good job after those first couple of innings. He said it was just more our offense. Swing and a miss, and out number 2. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Morgan. And now Shepard's up.
The good thing is you know, we've had a lot of base runners. It just takes one big hit.
Yeah, the Phillies, the first 3 games have struggled with runners in scoring position. The Reds had up until the last 2 or 3 innings. And now Shebler, who's 0 for 2, walked and scored. It's that one sharply to second, backhanded by Hernandez. So 2-run score for the Reds on the 2-run home run by Duvall. We have played 7 on to the 8th. Phillies have 6 outs to try to get 3. ShopChooseNissan.com. Buy Jefferson Health. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. And buy your local Chevrolet dealers. Phillies now trailing 7-4 as the Reds were able to put together a couple more runs in their half of the 7th. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game. Well, Cesar's played a pretty good second base in this series.
Yeah, he really has. And this is a ball right here after the Reds have tied it up with 3 in this 4th inning. Chance to score and go ahead, their 5th run, and Cesar robs Billy Hamilton of a base hit. And that is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by your local Hyundai dealers.
Well, now Blake Wood will take over. Give some credit to this Reds bullpen. They have bent. They haven't broken, though. After rookie Davis allowed 4 runs in the first 3 innings, they now have 4 innings of scoreless baseball, no hit baseball. And it'll be Blake Wood who takes over here in the 8th against Odubel Herrera. First pitch is over. It's 0-1. I guess the thought is that Storen will pitch the 9th if he's not in here.
I think, Iglesias pitched both Monday and Wednesday.
Odubel today has been on base 3 times, 2 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Pretty good pitch right there to Odubel, eyeballed. Couple bloops and a blast.
The Phillies have 3, 4, and 5 due up.
Or 3 blasts. I don't care.
That ball didn't jump off his bat at all. It's 2-2. It has been a cold day, now rainy day, as the rain continues to fall here in Cincy.
It hasn't hurt Adam Duvall or Daniel Nava today, has it?
No, it hasn't. Crowd of a little more than 10,000 hanging in. Swing and a miss. I don't know what he was looking for, but his feet were moving.
Don't know if I've ever seen that. I mean, watch the happy feet right here. His feet were off the ground when he swung at that. Was he looking breaking ball and got surprised by the fastball? Look at that. Both feet off the ground. That looked like an Ichiro swing.
He had to be thinking breaking ball.
Had to. I mean, with 2 strikes, though, I mean, you can put that in your head, but you still have to protect fastball.
Franco fouls the first pitch off 0-1. What's the back foot? Up.
Back foot off the ground. The front foot came off the ground. Look at that. I'm assuming if he'd have hit it, it wouldn't have gone far.
You never know.
No,
You don't think it's going to go far?
No. I mean, obviously, after you jump, your legs are gone.
Well, we had a long talk with Pete about him in spring training about just that whole thing. He goes, yeah, he can do that. Then the next time he'll come up and he'll just pop one into the gap. He is quirky.
Problem if we don't start scoring runs, his next at bat's going to be in Philly tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Franco.
I mean, Ichiro will do that, right? That quirky running in the box.
And he'll poke it
slap
into left
one the
field.
other way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's only got, what, like 5,000 hits in his life?
And counting. Franco fouls the 97-mile-an-hour fastball off. Ten and a third innings for the Reds bullpen so far in this series as Ramos is warming up for the Phillies. 10 and a third, 7 walks. But today it hasn't hurt them.
I mean, you know, that's the thing with a power arm. You can get out of a lot of jams when you can throw it by people.
Balls and 2 strikes. Got him. Back-to-back strikeouts. Got the crowd going a little bit.
Yeah, they're fired up now. That's a good pitch by Blake Wood, but you know, watch Franco. Watch how those hips open up. Look at that front hip. Front hip opens. The helmet almost falls off because of the swing, and even if he puts that ball in play, it's an out.
Well, now Saunders 0 for 3, and he takes the first pitch a bit low. Six straight hitters retired by the Reds bullpen. This guy's got some pretty good movement.
He does. I mean, you know, 95, 97, and then you can drop that on you. Ahead, you know, when you're ahead in the count as a hitter. See, it doesn't take long to figure out the scouting report on Michael Saunders, and that's hard in and soft away.
I mean, it's been 3 days, but that's essentially what they've done against him.
But you wonder why we had 2 consecutive starts in spring training where he got hit by pitches.
Mm-hmm.
If you have trouble with that fastball in, they're going to try to come in there, and you know, what are you told? If you're going to miss on that side. Well, you know, that side happens to be where his elbow is, and so if you miss, it's going to hit you.
Opposite way, and Duvall is there. And that wraps up the 8th inning. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for the Reds bullpen. We've completed 7.5 here in Cincinnati, the finale of this 3-game series, and the Reds lead at 7-4. Our dog night of the season. Go to Phillies.com and order your tickets today. There's Aaron Nola in the Phillies dugout right near the heater. He's a smart guy. He's going to pitch Saturday for the Phils against the Nationals. Vince Velasquez is already back toward Philadelphia getting ready for tomorrow's opener. Good to see Aaron back on the mound. I think a lot of people are anticipating his starts this year.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to have him and said Velasquez and get them to, you know, the young guys.
Yep.
You know, that's what excites me about the future of Phillies baseball is the fact that they have, you know, 4 pretty good arms.
And Eflin gets a chance to start his rehab tonight, coming back from the double knee surgeries. And in reality, that's an important rehab because he was pitching well before the knee started bothering him. And he can just add to the balance of the Phillies rotation moving forward. Aaron showed signs during the spring, though. Good velocity. As Cozart fouls the 2-strike pitch off. Every time the Phillies retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV.
Nola has a good idea how to pitch. You know, he's not going to be that 95, 97 blow it past you, but he seems to have a good idea when he's healthy, you know, how to pitch. And just watching him, it looks like he has a good idea how to read hitters too, their swings.
I think the biggest thing for him in the spring was his command. Just getting that where it needs to be. Another base hit for Cozart, who's had a good series. He has 5 hits in this series. And he is aboard to begin the 8th inning.
Well, they're going to use a conventional pinch hitter next. Thank goodness they run out of pitchers to hit.
Yeah, they took the lead on the home run by Lorenzan.
Wonder if the bunt's in play here.
With nobody out, trying to get another run.
You got a pinch hitter and then back to the top of the order.
Nope. You ever think about that though? How you would manage a game when you do these games? Sometimes, like how you would. I'm not saying you want to manage, but I'm saying, do you ever think about that?
Yeah, I try to go through different situations, different scenarios. You know, Larry Ball, when he was manager in San Diego, he wanted me to think like that. Like in this situation, what would you do? Look ahead. Who's hitting behind him? Who's hitting behind that guy? You know?
Yeah, because he's always 3 or 4 steps ahead of everybody.
Oh man, he's a baseball genius in my opinion.
Tied him up 2-1.
You wouldn't believe some of the text messages I get from him when he's watching other games. What was he thinking there? What was he thinking there? Why would you do that? What? It's beautiful.
And he's hoping that you're watching also, so you know what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, you know, most of the time I was watching, but like he is so locked into every other team and what they're doing and what other players on other teams are doing. It's amazing. And yeah, we'd get into conversations about games on the West Coast.
Over the dugout and a play.
I think Larry prepared me for this job as well as, you know, learning how to play correctly, but to think ahead, to look ahead to different options, different scenarios.
Out toward right field, right at Saunders. And there's one away. I think when he did this job, he was very good at it, and obviously was able to utilize those same sort of traits.
Yeah.
Whether it be in the studio or not. All right, so Pete's going to go to get the right-hander with Kivlahan coming up as a pinch hitter for the Reds. Adam Morgan's done after 2 1/3 innings of work. We've got a pitching change. We'll be back to Cincinnati right after this. Offense 14 under received the Phillies hooded sweatshirt. It's a 135 first pitch against the Nationals. Steven Strasburg against Jeremy Hellickson. That is the scheduled pitching matchup, although tentative until the Nationals decide who is starting on Saturday. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Strasburg, who only struck out 3 in his first outing this year. All right, so 1 out, runner at first. Edubray Ramos will take over for Adam Morgan. Ramos pitched in Monday's game. And Patrick Kivlahan will be the pinch hitter. And there's his first major league hit, a base hit to right field. And the Reds have runners on first and second. Well, we knew we'd see some rookies have some success in this series, or at least get their first hit.
How about their pinch hitters? 3 for 4, or their pitcher got a hit, but
yeah,
2 for 3, a homer and a single.
Scooter Gennett had the RBI.
That 9th spot's killing us.
Billy Hamilton now 1 for 4 today, and it's 0-1.
I think this is a situation where Billy Hamilton will be bunting. 1 out, first and second.
And a line drive just over the glove of Freddie Galvis into left field. Coming up with it is Nava. His throw to third is in time to get Cozarts. And Cozart's not going to argue about it. He thought that Galvis had a chance to catch it, so he started heading back to second.
He not only went back, he did a full 360 turn to get back to second. Give Daniel Nava credit. He came up throwing a little, off the wrong foot throw, 1 hop to Franco.
Well, that's our GMC Precision play of the game. Trust us, that was our GMC Precision play of the game. The last play. Franco's going to have to hurry on this one. He gets to it, fires to first base in time as Tommy Joseph hangs on to the bag. 5-3 on the putout. The Reds are retired. They get a couple of hits. They leave a couple. We go to the 9th. 7-4. Reds on top.
chance for the Phils offensively when it's all said and done here? Well, on a plane and back to Philadelphia, where the Phils will start at home for the 2017 season. As you guys mentioned, Max Scherzer and Vince Velasquez tomorrow. That game at 3:05 Eastern on NBC 10. On Saturday, Aaron Nola for the Phils, and we'll wait to see who the Nationals will send up there. And then Steven Strasburg and Jeremy Hellickson will both pitch on Sunday. That game at 1:35 on CSN. But, guys, this one's not over yet.
3 more outs to go, Murph. The Phillies have to work with. They've had success against Drew Storen in years past. Storen does have a good ERA against the Phils for his career, but they have gotten to him. And that's who they'll have to get to here in the 9th inning.
And that's the thing you have to deal with Drew Storen, is you have to be very patient with him. You know, he will walk guys. He will sometimes lose command. Be very patient with him. And
the Phillies have struck out 10 times today against this Reds staff, including 6 strikeouts against the bullpen. They have not had a hit since the 3rd inning. And here's Andrew Knapp, who was 0 for 1 with 2 walks today. And it's 0-1 as he delivers on the inside part of the plate. Knapp struck out looking his first time up, walked in the 3rd, walked in the 6th. And evens the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Andres Blanco has come out in the on deck circle, and he'll be a pinch hitter. This is the 6th inning of relief for the Reds bullpen today. Changeup, huh? 1-2.
yeah, it's usually Drew Storen's a fastball slider guy. Too seam it to try to run it away, but from lefties. But I don't think I've ever seen him fire that one up there too often.
Dribbler foul.
That's his out pitch. That's a pitch he wants to try to get both righties and lefties out with. That slider that he throws.
Down the left field line. And that'll slice out of play. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. Knapp's battling here. He's got the count again, 1-2. That was a 93-mile-an-hour heater.
Putting together some good at bat. Fouled off some tough pitches. That pitch a little up, but protecting the plate. So he's going to go back to that slider again. Hang one.
This is going to be at least an 8-pitch at bat, as Knapp is seeing some pitches here.
I think the thing is too is everyone in that dugout, if they didn't know what Drew Storen throws, they do now. He's throwing him a changeup, a fastball, and a slider.
And another slider, and a strike 3 called.
Storen dropped down a little bit on that one. Got the more of the frisbee action, not that breakdown.
80 miles an hour. Maybe that was like a slurve instead of the slider. Yeah, he did drop.
Yeah, he dropped down, and it had a little downward tilt to it, but.
Well, Whitey is now up with 1 man down.
And free pizza again for everyone that we're not going to get any. There There we go.
Andres Blanco shoots it the opposite way. So a pinch hit single for Blanco. Oh, after the ball game, post-game live, Michael Barkan will host it. Ricky Bottalico, Ben Davis are standing by. They'll chat about this game here, including Clay Buchholz's struggles. The fact that Phil's offense got some stuff early, but haven't managed anything since. In fact, that was their first hit since the third inning. Yeah, that's all coming up on Phillies post-game live, presented by Cure Auto Insurance. As Freddie Galvis will be the hitter. As good as Drew Storen was when he was with the Nationals, there were some times when he would pitch in Philadelphia, particularly when the Phillies were at their peak, when he could not get the whole atmosphere out of his head. Just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But as we mentioned, his ERA is 2.29 against the Phils.
You have to be aggressive with him with this fastball, but be patient with the other pitches.
Freddie Galvis launches one foul deep down the right field line. And it's 1-2 strikes.
Twice left-handed hitters. He did it with Napa, and now he did it with Galvis right there where he gets 2 strikes. It looks like he throws that little sidearm slider. That was a great pitch, though. Backdoored Freddie. Tough pitch to have to try to track for that long.
All right, Tommy Joseph flied out to right, his only time up. Blanco runs. The pitch is bounced back toward the middle. Peraza's got it. He throws to first in time, and the ball game is over. The Reds take 2 of 3 from the Phillies as they win it today by a final score of 7-4. And by the way, that was not the easiest of plays for Peraza because there was so much going on around second base, but he bobbled it and was able to recover and throw over to first to get Tommy Joseph.
Yeah, with Blanco running because they're not holding him on, at defensive indifference. But he did a great job of trying to shield that ball from Peraza. But give Peraza credit. He stayed with it, let it hit his body. He didn't try to glove it. Knew Tommy Joseph's not a quick runner. And there we go.
Well, our Chevrolet players of the game are the Reds bullpen. They've combined today for 6 innings, 1 hit, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. If you're a starter, you'd probably take that. But the starter went just 3 innings today for the Reds. And the bullpen guy produced the W.B. Mason delivery of the game, but as a pinch hitter.
Yeah, he pitched in the first game. Michael Lorenzan right here, but we talked